All right, Craig. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to cue up the song "Celebrate." All right, the "Celebrate Good Time" song by
It's
Cool in the Gang.
Celebration by Cool in the Gang.
What? I don't know. He's the bard, man. Chill. So cue up "Celebration." In 3, 2, 1. Celebrate good times. Come on. Yeah. Let's
Let's
celebrate.
celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't cue that up, it make me sound like a fool and I was singing to nothing. I'll be very upset, Craig.
Oh,
yeah, we'll see if we can get that in post, buddy.
Yeah, we'll add that in post. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're I don't know what you're going to celebrate, but I'm going to go through the normal spiel. So we're the Grumpy Dungeon Masters. I'm Jay, joined with my co-host Christopher, Christian, and Dan. Say hello there.
Hello there.
Hi guys.
Hate you all.
How's it going, buddy? You got what you wanted. It's only been like 3 years.
Yeah. Is this because I was late?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I was celebrating in the other room, guys.
I mean, you being late.
We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, being late definitely gave us a chance to talk about it before you got here.
Well, I accept.
So anyway, Christian, where can they find us on the social medias?
You can find the Grumpy Dungeon Masters podcast on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcast. You can also listen to us on YouTube, and you can see us streaming live on Twitch TV Tuesdays and Thursday evenings around 9-ish. Currently still making our way through the tail end of Baldur's Gate 3 in an honor mode run. And coming soon in April, kicking off the spring, blooming anew like flowers after winter frost, you can find the glorious return of Grumpy Dungeon Master Christopher's D&D 5e campaign, Waterdeep Worldborn Dead.
It's still growing.
Was that a Blade Runner quote there? From like the Tears in the Rain monologue? Okay.
No, at least not deliberately.
I mean, it's always there. It's just,
there's always an opportunity for it to be there. Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, I'm in a good mood. I really am.
That's a first ever.
I know. But
who are you?
Did you just drop like $10,000 on WotC things you don't need?
No.
Is that what happened?
No, we'll talk about that, which I did get affirmed. God, no. From my wife.
Oh, good. You asked your wife. That's good.
Yeah.
WotC has finally rewarded you for shilling for them for so long?
Not yet, but soon. Not yet,
anyway,
but soon.
This podcast is brought to you by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, surprisingly. No.
Buy everything they make. Buy 2 or 3 copies.
It's really good.
One of us.
Now.
One of us.
So, anyways, I'm excited and I'm very happy because Adventures League is dead. After a decade, and at least the past 5 years, 6 years of zero support officially from WotC, Adventures League is finally officially over. It is dead and it is never coming back, and I don't have to do it anymore.
All right, so break for just a second.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been dead for like 3 years?
So it officially hasn't been dead.
So
they've
they
just
officially forgot about it, or fired the person, laid off the person who was in charge of it, and it just hasn't actually just closed shop yet. It's just life support.
It still has its channel in the Discord.
Everybody's got a channel in Discord. We got a channel in Discord. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I know. And the person that was in charge of it was still in charge of it. We actually interviewed
like on a volunteer basis, or like actually an employee of WotC?
An actual employee.
Wow. Okay.
We interviewed their wife a while ago, Kat Kruger, on it.
Oh yeah, she was nice. I liked her.
Yeah. And they were doing a fine job, but their main job was just to update the rules and keep it kind of alive. The only
Life support.
content coming out for it was fan-made content that was posted on DM's Guild. The last official AL content that was created and produced and published was the Spelljammer adventure that they released at the time of Spelljammer on D&D Beyond. That being said, even then, that wasn't really advertised as the AL writings. It was just the writing team's last thing that they did before they were canned. So Adventure League still was a thing. You could still organize events under the Adventure League category for your local LGS, which is what I was doing. So if you were to search for Adventure League games, we would show up. And even then, that kind of fell by the wayside. But now officially, this week, on the D&D Beyond website, which is pretty much the main website now for D&D content, they released the D&D 2026 calendar release and kind of provided a roadmap on all the products and everything else that's coming out within the next year. So, as an example, right now they show up on the. I'll kind of put a link to the article so you guys can see it here in our podcast chat channel, because I know all the listeners go to that and check things out.
Man, I don't even gonna do that.
I'm doing it right
Discord?
now.
Guess that
So,
sounds-
in the winter, the stuff that's come out is Faster Purple Worm Kill Volume 1, which I purchased and I thought was a fantastic book. Not enough to be my product of the year because it just came out at the very end, but it's still a great book. I really do enjoy that. The Pugilist Class and Exploring Eberron all came out in the winter. We kind of talked about it. And so now they basically have what's happening in the spring, summer, fall, and winter in 2026. What I'm going to focus on is starting in the spring is what they're calling this season of horror. And then midway through summer, that ends and picks up the season of magic. And that ends midway through the fall and picks up with Season of Champions. Now, each of these seasons is being broken down into a separate kind of like they're publishing a Ravenloft book in the summer, which will tie into the seasons of horror. They're publishing an Arcana Unleashed book, which is going to have like more, Arcana-based subclasses and whatnot, as well an adventure in the summer. And then in the fall with the Season of Champions, they haven't announced anything yet, but there's something coming. The Ravenloft book is just the gameplay expansion, so something probably similar to the Eberron book that came out. Something very small, like maybe under 200 pages.
For $49.99?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know it's like that, or is
Yes,
this a guess?
because there was a video that the Nerdist had that's also linked on this page, where he talked to the people in charge of the current stuff coming out for D&D, and they were talking about it as well. So it's a smaller book, about 200 pages, but it basically updates all the Ravenloft Domain of Dread stuff for the 2024 5.5 officially now rule set. So that's pretty cool. I think
That's the most important thing is they finally admitted that it's 5.5.
Yeah. And then he announced that.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah. And then they announced that they are going to be launching D&D encounters with the start of the season of horror, and they'll basically be producing a small adventure that will tie in with the Ravenloft stuff that will be released at that time for the WPN stores, as well as basically rules to run these, weekly adventures at your LGS or take it home and run it at home weekly as well too. And DMs will get awards. They said it's very similar to the old D&D Encounter / Adventure League products that they had in the past. So much like I've said on this podcast, a while ago now, that about every 10 years they kind of rebrand Adventures League, and when I was playing 4th edition it was called D&D Encounters. They went full circle, baby, and they're back to D&D Encounters. They didn't make up anything new. They just decided to go back to D&D Encounters, which I think was great, because if it's anything similar to how it was in 4th edition, getting that packet in the mail that came with the tokens and the maps and everything you needed to run was a lot of fun. You know, it added and explained and explored the worlds that was going on. It wasn't just like a straight tie-in product. And I've kind of been wanting something like that as a product to get. Now, this isn't a product for people to buy. You have to get it through your LGS. And I'm not sure if the stuff will be
You mean you
produced
have to get it
enough.
through your LGS by DMing games at your LGS?
Yes, yeah. But they also said you can take them home too. So whatever that means. Like the D&D Encounters was never, they gave like the stores maybe
This
one or two
is your
copies of
payment
everything.
in lieu of actual payment for continuing to market the brand of WotC is what that is.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't see why they would let you take the stuff. They're going to have enough for the stores to give to people to take home. So that's a different spin on things.
All right, so let me shit all over this real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
One, you're working without pay, so you're an intern. Two, they didn't get rid of Adventures League. They just changed the name and are going to support it again.
Bingo.
Nothing's changing. They're just actually going to focus on putting support behind it and
Well, I
call
mean,
it something
I
else.
will say something is changing, Jay.
Well,
Like they're
okay,
actually supporting it again, whereas they weren't before, and they realized maybe we should actually market our product of tabletop role-playing games that we have been ignoring for 3 years after releasing the new tabletop role-playing game, which we have now conveniently relabeled the thing that everyone's been calling it.
Right, yeah. And the third thing that I have to add to this is when you're looking at this piece of art for the Dungeons and Dragons 2026 roadmap, I'm kind of pissed that they actually the one person who's on that picture is Lord Soth without the helmet.
yeah, he is.
Like, why?
Yeah.
It's not the first time they've done artwork with him without the helmet, but it's rare where that's been done. I think twice ever. So
Yeah, and
it's weird.
not. It is definitely probably my least favorite Lord Soth official WotC art depiction.
Yeah, like the very first picture of him ever, he didn't have the helmet on. And then I think there's like one other, like the Dragonlance Adventures book. I think he's on the cover without the helmet. But that's it, 2 times in 40 years or something. So anyway, that's
What
a side
the derp
tangent.
shit is this? Oh my god.
Oh, you just saw it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I hadn't clicked on the link yet, but oh my god, no. That man should be skeletal. That looks like a zombie that somebody put some Play-Doh on. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
But you know what? For your sake, Chris, I hope that the support behind D&D Encounters, Adventures League, it's the same old thing. Whatever they want to call it. I hope that the support behind it is genuine and well thought out and good stuff, because that's what they should be doing for people that are at their game stores running D&D open tables for people. Giving them support is a kind of a no-brainer, right? Kind of something.
Yeah.
All it does is help you. Why would you not
Yeah.
help the people
Like,
that are helping you
TSR
for free
pioneered the model
already?
for RPGA years ago. Like it does nothing but benefit your company and spread your product and get people to buy your shit. Why do we not support it? And it's been boggling my mind for 3 years why they're just like, yeah, it's technically still there. You just can download stuff on DM's Guild from third-party content, which is absolutely garbage. Okay, cool.
So the packets and stuff they said, are they send that to your local game store, or to you as like a registered runner
They're sending
of
it
Adventure
to
League?
they're sending it to registered WPN stores.
Okay.
And the thing is, they haven't even communicated that out to the regular WPN stores, because when I ask my local gaming store about it, they're like, yeah, we haven't got anything yet. So,
All right, I'm actually looking at this roadmap with Lord Soth on it now, and I'm ignoring the part of the screen where it says Lord Soth versus more to come. But I am looking at the part where I actually am a little bit excited, because in spring, they have 2 key events. One is Universal Fan Fest. The other is GaryCon!
Yeah.
So they're actually apparently an official sponsor this year, which they have not been for many years. So I'm
Yeah.
actually interested in seeing what kind of booth they actually have set up there. Because
Yeah,
normally it's like Goodman Games or somebody like that has like the big juggernaut booth. I wonder if they're actually going to spend money or just send 2 interns with a stack full of PHBs.
I think they're sending 2 interns with a stack of PHPs. Because I did look for stuff. I didn't see them hosting anything or being official sponsors, so to speak. Like, Chaosium was last year.
Yeah.
I know
I
they're
did-
going to be present, but I don't know if they're going to be doing anything. I didn't see any panels with them. I looked up some of the lead people. I can't remember their names. So I looked at some of their names, and none of those people are running any panels or doing anything. I mean, Jerry Crawford's going to be there, but he's not with them anymore. So
I'm looking on the GaryCon page. The signature sponsor, which means the person who the company that paid them most was Wizards of the Coast this year.
Huh.
They're the
Good to know.
signature sponsor this year.
I did recall me talking about it a little while back, where the new guy who's sort of in charge of things there is kind of making nice with people. Like there was a photo of him with Luke
with Margaret
Gygax, with Margaret
yeah.
Weiss, with Joe Manganiello. So maybe they're going to actually start marketing their product and trying to get people to come back to their thing.
And
Since
if
everybody
they
left.
start working with the old content creators and start bringing them back into the fold. I mean, the fact that I read today that Luke Gygax posted that one of the newest items that going into the auction, GaryCon, is a recent piece by Braum for Dark Sun.
It hurts
So
me
I'm like,
so bad.
Part of me hurts because I don't want to see Dark Sun in 5th edition, but the other part of me is like, if they're hiring Braum to do the art, I might have to spend money on it.
Oh no! For me, it's just that there's going to be a piece of Braum art in the same building with me, and I'm not going to be able to buy it.
Dude, there's going to be several pieces of Braum art in the same building with you.
And the Jeff Easley art, and all, I just don't have the money for this
I
stuff.
saw Jeff Easley just finishing his paintings for the auction too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see a new piece of art from Braun for Dark Sun. I am not excited in the fact that really makes me feel like they are actually going to release Dark Sun for 5th edition, and I know it's not going to be good.
That's the other thing is when I was watching the video that they were putting out for this, you have to watch the video. I really don't have anything like said, this includes a Dark Sun. They mentioned going back to older stories and older.
Look, it's the Season of Champions. Dark Sun is known for its gladiatorial arenas. The Sorcerer Kings are the former champions of Rajat. So
I got the heavy impression that that Dark Sun is coming out.
We've seen the writing on the wall for a while.
I know, and I know.
They're trying to deny
it. I hope the part of me that loves Dark Sun wants them to succeed. Like, I would love for them to succeed brilliantly and do a great job with it. But I just don't feel like they're going to. Now, if they do like a special cover with Braum doing the art, I may get it just
I'd buy it.
Oh, I will.
Reason I
bought
the new Planescape books. I bought the special edition Planescape books because they got Tony DiTerlizzi to do the art for that. Yeah. And I was happy to get more of his art.
Somehow,
so it sounds like you're all shills. I'm just the only one that admits it.
No, I'm just there for the artist. Braum is a fantastic artist, and I won't be able to afford
Larry Elmore out to do new covers. I would buy those books too. But
yeah, I can't afford to buy Braum's original art on canvas, but I can't afford to buy his art on a game book.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
I said I'm pretty sure Dark Sun is coming out this year. If not, it's definitely coming out next year, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be another Dragonlance book coming out here soon.
I'm not excited. I have the same hope with this Ravenloft book. I hope that it's actually good. The fact that you said it's going to be super short makes me feel like this isn't going to be good, and it also kind of makes me feel like the reason they went back to Ravenloft because they looked and was like, when was the last time people liked 5th edition? Oh, Curse of Strahd. So let's see if we can go back to the well and get some of our cool factor back.
I don't think that's the reason why they're putting out the Ravenloft book. I think they're just trying to make money by updating the classes that already existed in 5.0
It's a
in
lot easier to train
5.5.
all your new designers or junior, journeyman designers on updating stuff that you already have
Yeah.
plenty of material for before
Yeah.
they actually start creating something new. And that's actually kind of my hope, is that all the old guard has basically moved on to other companies, other things, and that's fine. People change jobs. You know it, the company is not what it was whenever they were building it up and making it what it was. But I would like to see a new group of designers actually come up with their own ideas and not just continuously mining the 50 years of D&D and
Mhm.
converting stuff that any DM that's been looked at a DMG for more than an hour can be like, yeah, I can convert second edition to fifth edition or 5.5 or where the fuck we're playing now.
Yeah.
Like
But
fuck, GPT exists right now. I could put Strahd from the I6 into it right now and say,
Yeah.
give me stats for D&D 5.5, and it would probably be just as good as the ones in the Monster Manual.
Yeah. I think updating old materials with AI is, in my opinion, an appropriate use of the tool.
If
You
you're
know,
using
as
it in
long
house for like if you're your own
yeah,
DM, yeah, sure, that's fine.
yeah.
I don't want them doing that, but
As long
they
as
have
long
to
as you
know those
have the
tools
human
exist.
as long as you have the human hand that's, you know, correcting it and fixing it and everything, that's what you need. You need that human touch still, but
But you
No,
need human designers for writing and for art.
yes.
I
Yes.
also don't want it doing new stats that I'm paying for because
No,
I can
not
do
new
that.
stats. But like
Like,
Strahd, you don't need to pay someone to update Strahd. Strahd stats already exist. What you need someone working on a good new Ravenloft module and creating new, more creative, entertaining monsters. I don't need him spending his time redoing the 5.0 zombie into the 5.5 zombie. Just
We don't
fucking
need
do it
Strahd
fast, get it done.
revamped, double down, revamped.
Yeah,
I've already bought the coffin full of like updated Ravenloft for my shelf. I don't need again. I
and
don't need it again.
they just updated him again in the Vecna thing. Like, and they're going to have him.
yeah,
Here we go again. Like for the fourth time in as many years. There's new. Like, come on, man. Like, let's do something new.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we know that Arcana Unleashed is not going to be that because it's just all the kind of
Well,
arcane subclasses that we already went
there
over and kind of
there
dumped
Some new
on.
spells. I'm sure
there
they'll pull out
is
some of Magic the Spell Compendium and update all that crap.
Yeah, that's what it is. But there's also a new adventure coming out with that. So I'm waiting to see what that adventure. I'm not excited for
Oh,
Arcana
They
Unleashed.
they said what the adventure is. It's
Yeah.
the Thay one. It's something to do with something in Thay or dread of Thay or
I thought it was
they
And it-
announced
Read
what the
something or other.
and you'll be able to download it on the DM's Guild for $49.95.
Yes, I'm sure. But it's integrated immediately into
yeah.
D&D
It's
Beyond.
here it is. They got it right here. Arcana Unleashed Deadfall. And it's got Zastam right on the cover.
Yeah. No, it's a new wizard. It's a new story. It's a new wizard war, along with a deep dive into Thay. It is a new story using well-known characters, using the Wizards of Thay, Red Wizards of Thay, and using Zastam, but it's still a
Fine
new
with them
story.
with them using him. Like, he is a eternal bad guy.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can keep using best ham, but I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that it will be a good adventure. I don't. My hope is always for the best, but my expectations are very low.
Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it. That's a good way of phrasing it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of expectations and hopes, can we move on to something that I had high expectations for and was not let down?
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of feel
Wait a
let
minute.
down
Wait,
already.
what about hey, Craig?
Wait, I do actually
read
want
good times.
I do want to ask one thing, Chris. Before we go on to the next topic, Chris, you mentioned something about DM rewards
Mhm.
for that. So, what does that entail, or do you know? If you don't know, what was it in the past that you can speculate it might be something along these lines?
So in the video with Nerdist, where they kind of have more of the details on the D&D Encounters program, They just said DM rewards, similar to how it was in the past, but also some new things. They were very vague about it. And the only thing that they did is they kind of dropped like when the dates were, which kind of, I guess they weren't supposed to do at that time, but have since been released anyways. In the past, the rewards were for D&D encounters. It's like you got to keep the books, you got to keep all the maps and stuff like that, because the WPN store didn't want to keep a hold of it. So just getting those adventures was a plus. Also, what they were doing in the past, and same thing with Adventures League, is that they would basically let you take the hours spent as being a DM and count those towards the characters that you were making that you could play in these official events as well. So let's say you ran everybody through a level 1 through 4 adventure and you wanted to play that 1 through 4 adventure. Well, you can't level up immediately, or maybe they would start you off at level 2 instead of level 1. But you could also start with some magic items or some bonus material to help you do things. I remember one of the rewards was like getting a mount that was a spider without the fang attack. Basically just let you climb on walls, and it was a mount. Like, that was one of the rewards you got for being a DM during that encounter session. So unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to change at all unless they start like tying you doing these things to your D&D Beyond account and then letting you unlock virtual things as well. I don't
Can almost
foresee.
imagine that you have hit the nail on the head and say, if they can get away with just giving you virtual shit, they definitely will.
I mean, we're all DMs here. This whole podcast is about DMing. We don't do it because we like DMing. We do it for the love of the game. You know, it's.
I like DMing.
I don't.
You shut your whore mouth. No. I mean, I like DMing too, but I mean, we all would like to play the game.
Anything that I do like to I like to play the game as opposed to like to DM, but I will say that the thing I don't like about DMing is the amount of prep work I end up finding myself doing, and that's on me. I've never found a way to get around that because I always want to have a number of different scenarios and over prepare for literally everything. But by the same token, some of my best sessions are completely improv.
Yeah.
But I then have to make sure I remember what the fuck I said, or else people will check me on it later.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I
think like for me, getting content in D&D Beyond that's, you know, DM specific, you know, would be great. Like, the only thing I could really compare it to would be the like judge promos for Magic the Gathering cards. Like, you get a special card that has a special artwork on it and nothing else really, but you know.
Yeah, but those judge promos are also worth a lot of money.
Yeah, because they're unique and rare. So having an account that's, you know, hey, this my D&D Beyond account has the judge or has the DM promos, and you know, here's these adventures. Those original 4E adventures sell for, you know, $100 a piece when last I looked, until they started being reprinting them on DM's Guild.
But what I'm saying is, like, if they're going, what I feel, because of WotC as a company, not because like whoever's in charge of them, I don't even know the guy's name now. I feel like they're going to give this in lieu of physical copies. What Jay's getting at is, you're not getting paid. And yeah, I know you say that you do this because you love the game and you want to play and you want to see people enjoy the game, and that's fine. But there's at least a little bit of something that's transactional there. So giving you some digital content that other people can just buy later, that's not transactional. That is here, you need this anyway to run the adventure, just whatever is what that is.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know.
Now, I don't think any sort of organized play league is going to be paying. It's not like I just don't feel like that's a realistic expectation. No, I do think if they give you physical products, like the physical adventures and stuff that they come out with to run, That's
you
cool.
feel satisfied. You feel that you feel complete.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
agree.
cool to
Because
say,
it is a
hey,
unique thing, just like the unique magic cards for the judges, the unique Pokemon cards for judges, stuff like that. Same shit. Like you got something that very few other people have. That if some point in time you wanted to sell, you could. But most of the people who do this love it, so they won't.
Yeah. And like I said, I'd be fine with that. I was always fine with just taking home the D&D encounter stuff, you know. I
Yeah.
didn't need much more than that. If I
No,
could get
no,
the codes on,
I agree. I think that that's an awesome thing because that's a unique thing that's only going to be in your collection. It's not going to be my collection. Maybe somebody is selling a couple of random ones on eBay, but until people who ran sessions during this time period die and their estate shit goes up on estate sales or something, we're not going to see it. It's the same stuff like all these. I keep on seeing like really old copies of RPGA exclusive modules that were only handed out to the DMs, and they go for $500 to $1,000.
yeah,
Like they're very rare
yeah.
because there were only so many people that were RPGA game
yeah,
masters and only so
I
many people
But
that kept them.
I don't foresee them not putting them on D&D Beyond. Like I said, I know the physical kits will be coming out. I don't see them not putting in a D&D Beyond to also make money there as well.
And I think
But
that's
if they,
fine because there's a difference
yeah,
between print on demand and something officially printed by WotC, only like 5,000 of them made to send out to all the kits to the different stores. That's different.
yeah.
So,
And like I said, I'd be happy with that. I think that'd be great. Like I'd be
Yeah.
okay,
I'd
so
be fine with it.
you're back to being happy?
No, this is the Grumpy Dungeon Masters. I'm never happy.
All right. He is back where he belongs. Well, let's
All
move
right.
on.
Perfect.
All right.
Are we gonna go dwelling in the deep?
Yeah,
That's what. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to talk about.
Dwelling in the Deep.
that's right.
Yeah, it's the new song.
We're
It's a sequel to Roll in the Deep.
So Shadowdark Zine number 5, Cursed Scroll, Dwellers in the Deep.
Yes.
I guess Dan, you were gonna run through this one. So
I was gonna run through the character classes and the new character classes that appear here because they are pretty neat and they're
it's only
unique.
one. Oh no, there's two. Okay.
There's two. Delver and the Weirdling.
Yeah.
So this entire thing is basically going into Shadowdark's Underdark, and some terrifying stuff down there, as you might imagine. So a couple of classes that might help you out with that. And one of them is called the Delver. Steely-eyed explorers who delve the forgotten places of the earth. They always have the right tool and know how to get out of a jam. Weapons: club, crossbow, dagger, javelin, mace, short bow, short sword, spear, staff. Armor: leather, chain, or in shields. Hit dice: only d6. 2 languages, 2 additional common languages. Special abilities, though, is where it gets good. Scavenger: when you expend the last fear of a consumable item you've carried since your last rest, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, you regain 1 use of that item. Your torch goes out. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. There's a little bit more left in there. Oh,
Yep.
Hey guys, I rolled a 6. It's still here.
Hey, Christian. When I die next game session, can I play the Delver?
no.
Trailblazer. You are adept at exploring inhospitable, lost, or unknown places. You have advantage on the following tasks: climbing, swimming, foraging, understanding unknown languages, which is great, avoiding or escaping natural terrain hazards, and trusty gear. Choose one type of gear or weapon you can wield. You gain +1 half your level on checks or attack rolls made with that type of gear or weapon. So you're actually decent at fighting. You're kind of
Yeah, you could potentially be, if you
alternate
choose a
thief
weapon.
rogue.
Yeah,
and
you could. Yeah, if you choose a weapon, you could be a pretty decent fighter, or you can choose some sort of tool and be really good.
Yeah. And your Delver talents are gain 2 gear slots, and an additional trusty gear, which is fantastic.
That's nice. Yeah.
+1 to melee or ranged attacks and damage, which is good. +2 to strength, dex, or con. 10 to 11 is add 1 more point to your scavenger success range, which is great. So you're on a 4, 5, or 6.
Oh.
You use of your expended item.
50% chance you never run out of torches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And choose a talent or +2 points to distributed stats. I think that's a fantastic class. That is a dungeon delving class. That's a thief that isn't a thief. That is an explorer of underground territory. I could see gnomes and goblins and kobolds and dwarves picking that one
This
up.
is, as I think even Kelsey has pointed out, this is your Indiana Jones class.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your archaeologist. It's your, I'm trying to go find some lost buried civilization. The
This
next
is
one's
a
a little
treasure hunter.
stranger.
Yeah,
This one is a little off the wall. I was not expecting this
I
one.
love
The
this one.
Weirdling. Those who have been called down into the dark have listened to the gibbering of vile abominations and have felt the rapturous presence of the lost walking with them in the abyss. Weapons: club, crossbow, dagger, pseudopod, short bow, short sword, spear. Leather, chain, shields, hit die, d6. Languages: you know primordial. You don't know common, you know primordial.
Yep.
Corruption. Roll 1 talent on the corruption table. Oh, yes. Yes, they have a bonus table. Hideous biology. You can hideously stretch your body to fit through inch-wide cracks. It takes you 3 rounds to pass through an obstacle in this way. Pseudopod. You can sprout a clawed, horrid pseudopod from your body. See its details below. Pseudopod. Medium type, range, near, d6 damage, and is finessable. Weirdling talents. Gain 2 new corruption talents. We'll go over that in a second. +2 strength, dex, or charisma. Gain a new corruption talent. Gain +1 to attacks and damage with your pseudopod. Not with weapons, with your pseudopod. And choose a talent or +2 points to distribute the stats. And this is the best part. The pseudopods. The corruption. Mad certainty. You're immune to effects that target your mind or spirit, including the chittering. More on that later. Vicious pseudopod. Your pseudopod sprouts barbs. Increases damage die by 1 step. Reroll if its die is d12.
That's good.
Segmented pseudopods, which means you can get that multiple times until it gets to a d12. It's basically you have a great sword you're swinging with.
Hang on. I think Waple's cat's in the mic again.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Every week. Every week.
Blaze, stop snoring. No.
Segmented pseudopod. Your pseudopod's range increases to double near, which is pretty great, 10-foot reach. Fish gills. You can breathe underwater. Little crafting portion there. A few people in those stories. Dorsal hump. You permanently gain a d6 hit points. Thick skin. +1 to your armor class. Fish eyes. Not be surprised. Goblins will re-roll. Because I guess you do start as a normal...
As a goblin, you can't be surprised.
Yeah, already. Abominable hunger. Once a day, regain 2d6 hit points by devouring humanoid flesh.
Oh, that's so
Plus,
awesome.
it's 2d6 +1 use each time rolled. Or +1 use each time is rolled too. Creepy stillness. You gain advantage on dex checks to hide and sneak. And evolution. Distribute +3 points between your stats and your HP.
Yeah, you are effectively a Cthulhuoid.
Yeah.
You are a cultist slowly losing your humanity.
What was the there was a monster in all the earlier editions of D&D that was just weird Frankenstein's monsters, Lovecraftian critters that you'd basically just roll up random stats for and random things. It wasn't like it wasn't a beast man, but it was something similar to that.
Mongrel men.
Mongrel men, yeah, because they appeared at the Abbey of St. Markovia in
yeah.
And that's what these guys remind me of, except more Lovecraftian, obviously.
So I got to say real quick, when we were playing through the Curse of Strahd last year, and we went to the Abbey of St. Markovia, we did meet the Beastman. We met the guy who runs the place. That was the one sort of side quest thing that we all opted to nope the fuck out of. I still don't. I think I was told afterwards what that guy was, but I don't remember. There was just he was creepy. There was something wrong with him. I was like, no, we're just not.
Yeah, he was a corrupted angel, bro.
Yeah, I figured it was some shit like that. I was just not having it.
Yeah, that was a great town. That was a good town to run. So the rest of the book has, as you might expect, a couple of sample adventures, as the Arcane Library likes to put in these zines, a couple of new spells. Eye Bite's coming back in a big way, like that. But I
Yeah,
think
this has
we already went over some of these in the most
we
recent release of spells that she
we
put
did
out.
because these are the sorcerer spells, which are spells that are available only to chaotic wizards.
Ah, okay.
I see they've got Feeble Mind in there.
Mhm.
Yes, these are your evil spells.
Evil.
Evil.
You have defile and blight,
Mm.
rack, subjugate. Yeah, all kinds of vicious,
I like how they
terrible things.
finally it's always kind of bugged me that enchanters in D&D didn't have to be evil. They just straight up, put dominate. She just put dominate under sorcerer, which is chaotic wizard, which is a pretty evil bet typically because you're fucking controlling somebody's mind. You're enslaving their mind. It is an evil goddamn action. That's why
Yes.
vampires do it.
I mean, then there's the tier 5 spell Subjugate.
Yeah, right?
I mean, that's basically Dominate, but it lasts for a year.
Yeah.
Can't really get more evil than that.
Yep.
This one's beautiful. Unlife. A humanoid skull you touch regains a semblance of its former life, animating with a red witch light in its eyes. The skull can converse in common. It retains its personality and memories from its life, but its recall can be spotty if it has been dead for a long time. When the spell ends, the skull crumbles into grave dust.
Yep. And it lasts for a day.
Fantastic.
You just
That's
have
fantastic.
a day that you can talk to something whose
skull.
skull you stole.
Is there a spell called?
To dust?
Is there a spell called Tyrannize?
I'm
should be.
I'm sure there is. Somebody's made it.
That's what subjugate is effectively. I mean,
No, but it needs to be like an AOE subjugate.
Oh, what was
Like
the
it
name of that
gets-
presence? That the presence-based ability in Vampire the Masquerade? AOE
Majesty.
subjugate. Majesty. Yeah, everyone just fucking kneel before me. Yeah.
Isn't that? There's a word for that. Shit. Was it prostigate?
No, you should get that checked out if you are reforming.
I think it's Prostoligate.
Proselytize?
Yeah, maybe.
No,
I don't know.
I also particularly love the spell. This is not evil like dominating mind, but it's just vicious as dismember, where you make your roll and you just choose a creature that's level 9 or less, and it loses either an arm or a leg, and then it's focus, so you keep doing it, and if it has no more arms or legs to lose, it loses its head and dies.
Nice. Kill.
And because we're delving into the deep now, we've got some cool stuff as you might expect in a book like this. Reintroducing the ball bearing, classic D&D thing, just to have as any sort of thief. Triggers traps if it were footfalls of adult form. Once it triggers a trap, it's lost. Rolls a near distance in a straight line, so you just kind of roll it down somewhere. Other options for light sources: candle sheds light in a close distance for 20 minutes of real time. Light can be hidden from outside observation behind a cloak or hand, however. Charcoal, one use powder, leaches the poison out of an edible item, making it safe to eat. It's kind of neat. Flash seed. Sulfurous seed that's the size of a peach pit that explodes in a flash of light when it strikes a hard surface. Dark adapted creatures within near who see it must pass a DC 12 con check where you blind it for a round.
Ninja Vanish.
Yeah. Run! Yep. Glow paste. 5 uses of clear, sticky paste that glows faintly green when exposed to air, leaving a subtle mark. Its dim glow lasts for 1 day. So basically, you're getting lost in the Underdark. Mark your way to try to find your way back, especially if you lose your light source, which is nice. I didn't realize that she had not written up the stats in the Holy Water yet. But
I didn't either.
She writes it down here, and it's 2d4 damage to undead creatures, just straight up. No save, just 2d4. Lantern
that's
hook.
pretty good.
Connects to a belt and allows the hands to be free for the use of a lantern, which is fantastic because now you can use a shield and have it's one of those things where basically what is lanternfishes called? What is the guy's called?
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish, yeah. Basically one of those. I can just see a guy just loaded down with a big bag full of shit, and he's got one of those tiny lanterns hanging on a lantern hook with a shield and a short sword. It's awesome. Miner's Putty, a jar with 3 uses of tacky brown putty. 1 glob is strong enough to bond 500 pounds of weight. After use, it dries and flakes off in 1 day. You can see a lot of reasons to use that. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
A net, don't need to go over that. A Morzo silk net, or rope rather, which is basically spider silk rope. However, it is immune to all damage except from a silvered or magical source, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tallow, 1 application of shiny tallow. It's grease, or it can be used to grease a door-sized object, person, or close area, making it absurdly slippery. So get out of some spider webs you might encounter down in the Underdark. And this one I thought was kind of cool, because obviously there's going to be some hex crawls in the Underdark. This is called a traveler's lamp, which only burns 1 flask of oil a day, however provides meager enough light to see during hex travel in darkness, but not during combat or crawling rounds. Basically, it's a glow stick that'll last a day as you travel through the Underdark, so you can kind of see the silhouettes of where you're going, but not really what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I like some of the stuff in here. Like, there's a lot of interesting use for parties to be smart and figure out, ways around problems, and do some creative problem solving or creative application. There's some downsides to some of it. Like, I love the tallow lasts for a day. Like, you can grease a person, but then they're greasy and super
they're
slippery
really greasy
for a full day. So what happens if they fall down? You try to pick them up, they just keep going like whoop, like out of your hands. And
Yep. Don't be the person holding on to the torch when you're all tallowed up.
yeah.
Is Shadowdark kind of doing its own, oh, I have dark vision kind of thing with all these new torches and new ways to make torches last forever, and or
none of it
get torches
makes
back?
torches.
None of that lasts forever. If you
just talked about a class that had a chance of getting torches back.
Yeah.
It has a class of getting a consumable if it's the last consumable. That means if you carry multiple torches, it doesn't work. If you carry multiple of an item, it does absolutely nothing. It's not until it's your
for
last.
example, your fighter is the one carrying like the bag of 6 torches, and your delver he's weak, maybe he's a goblin. He has 3 torches or something. He gets to his last torch, and he's carrying like an idol or something he picked up, and it's been 8 hours since he's rested, and his last torch goes out. He has a 50% chance, if he'd rolled well on his talents, to get his torch back, that one use back. Yes, but the fighter can't hand him a torch because he hasn't been carrying it since his last long rest. So he can't just keep on doing it. And I would question it in DM though to allow somebody to do that, because it's clear what it's supposed to be. It is your last resort, because you can use it on any expendable item, but your last expendable item.
Right.
Also keep in mind the way that these are designed are explicitly like each curse scroll is supposed to be a independent and self-contained thing. It's not really an expansion for the game. It's a, hey, if you are playing this curse scroll, you can use these classes. So this is specifically meant because this whole thing is about delving underground, and this is not like the way Shadowdark approaches the underground is not just like, hey, it's underground like the Underdark. It follows something along. If you've been part of or read through a lot of the kind of blogosphere of stuff in the days, there's a whole concept around something called the mythic underworld, where when you delve too deep, it's that same thing. The dwarves delve too deep, and it's not just like, hey, this is really far underground. It is, this whole place is unnatural. This whole place is hostile to you in an almost intelligent way, in the fact that it's almost like crossing a liminal border. Like, you have delved so far that you have crossed into almost like another plane, another realm. So you're in a totally different world that is completely hostile to you. And it's not just like, hey, I'm really far underground.
Yep.
So your classes here, like some of these are more like the Delver can get some more, but you know what? You're gonna roll ones, as I have seen in my game, with you guys having definitely rolled plenty of ones on various die.
I've never rolled
Yeah.
one.
You have but so this is more because this whole book is about like you're going to spend the whole campaign basically underground. So they give you some more ways of making it a little more feasible to just not always be in the dark. I think some things are also some help, like a candle might be. You probably don't want to use that as your primary light source because it always illuminates within close. That's within 5 feet of you. That's going to be hard for
Yeah,
everyone to
that's
huddle
like
around that all the time.
what that enables you to do is to basically sneak around and to read some runes or something, sneak ahead by just kind of holding it in front of you and only shining it towards one direction, having your cloak like, oh no, I heard something around the corner, I'm gonna shut the light, but now I'm in the dark,
Yeah,
but maybe I can hide here.
Yeah, this is for that somebody that says, "Hey, I want to look ahead. I am the Roscoe die. I am the thief. I am sneaky. I'm going to try to get ahead, but I need my own light source because I'm getting outside of the one torch or something that the party's carrying back there.
Mhm.
So I can light a candle, have a little bit of light. There's a way I can hide it. Just hide it behind my hand or my cloak if I need to for a minute, but it gets me a chance to move ahead."
And then you get eaten because you can only see 5 feet ahead
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll see. I mean, I just feel like it's a slippery mechanic, and there's going to be plenty of players that trying to abuse it.
Here's the thing: you already have plenty of people who want to, you know, who want to have some of the things that they loved more about Pathfinder or D&D and stuff like that. And there's so many creators out there like converting their big monster books from Pathfinder and from D&D and other stuff and making it their own thing using Shadowdark's basic rules. If a DM wants to run a game and then they stop doing the torch mechanic, you're not really playing Shadowdark anymore. You're playing another thing entirely that's your own homebrew, because Shadowdark's main driving mechanic is that torch and that light. So, people can do whatever they want, and that's fine. But what's coming official from them isn't making it so you basically have dark vision or something like that. It's yeah.
I'm waiting for like the book that comes out with lantern shields and fucking minor headlamps and shit, and there's always a light source going on with a candle or something like that. Or
Well,
it just
I wouldn't worry about that because in the core rule, one of the core tenets it gives for the DMs is attack the light. You should like your monster should be seeking to put out the light. There are plenty of monsters like the Dark Mantle and other creatures that just extinguish light. No save,
Yeah.
nothing the party can do. They
The
just
first
show up
combat
and they turn
encounter in
off the
my
light.
Shadowdark game was against a Dark Mantle, single Dark Mantle, but he managed to turn out the light, savage somebody before he managed to skitter off into the darkness, because he was alone and there were 5 of them that all were turning on torches and lanterns and panic lighting torches, such that they overlit torches that all became on the same timer. So suddenly now they're down to like 2 torches left. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. The
Yeah, there
mechanics are
are
built in that you're not going to have endless torches. You're not going to have anything like that. I mean, it's
Yep.
not going to be one of those things where, I mean, I could see some DMs doing this, but I would never just let players, unless they're doing something incredibly stupid, like intentionally lighting and knowingly lighting multiple torches every hour and running through them and running out of light spells, stuff like that. Unless they're doing it intentionally and knowingly, there's going to be at some point in time, even through random encounters, a torch or an old fire that they could use in order to fumble the way. There will be the scary part of getting there and following some glowworms or something like that, but they'll find it eventually, because nobody wants to just end the campaign because, hey guys, it got dark and then that's it.
I mean, I think that's great, actually.
If
I
they
think that
deserve
has
it, sure,
definitely happened
absolutely,
in
absolutely.
many a Shadowdark campaign. But yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. A, like I said, this is specific to this book. B, there are so many things in Shadowdark that can just turn out the lights automatically, including light spells.
Yeah.
Light spells are not special. And that's just in the core book. There's a bunch of monsters that have stuff like snuff or darkness or things that just cancel your light source and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Senpai, you said I was special.
So yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to go through the rest of the book because there's a lot of great content in here. But if you guys are, if anybody listening is into Shadowdark or is thinking about Shadowdark, highly recommend, and feel free to pick up the Curse Scrolls. They're great. And I will say, without revealing too much of anything, some of the monsters are in fact very Lovecraftian, but it is not just Lovecraft. It is not just rehashing Call of Cthulhu, and it's not just rehashing the Underdark. It's really well done, and I really want to go on a hex crawl in the Underdark or the
deep.
the deep.
Well, maybe you'll get a chance to do that.
I mean, you've already had these creepy bastards on the front cover of this thing, like destroy Chris's character.
And mine. I permanently have 2 hit points because of them.
Look,
Speak-
you guys chose your fate.
No,
Well, no,
Chris.
Chris chose.
Well, Chris chose your fate.
Yeah, it's his fault. Thanks, buddy.
It wasn't me. It was Coham.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Speaking of rehashing Cthulhu content, this is kind of a... Since Dan said those words specifically, have you guys seen the trailers for the next Minions movie?
No.
What?
Okay. Well, I bring my daughter to the movies, and at those movies, they have trailers for movies of her age range. And the next Minions movie, and I swear to God, this is a real fucking thing. It boils down essentially to the Minions summon Cthulhu.
I did
It's
see
called-
this. I did.
It's called Minions and Monsters. It premiered at the Super Bowl trailer. It was a Super Bowl trailer. They summon Cthulhu, who's like this mini chibi version of Cthulhu, and they have to go around finding monsters and shit. Like, I mean, Cthulhu as a mythos has jumped the shark when the goddamn fucking Minions are fucking using them for their stories. I'm kind of upset by this, but also kind of like proud in a way. Like, I'm so glad they're doing this. Okay, I don't want to do Cthulhu ever again.
You got to
it's
ease
done.
children into Cthulhu mythos. All right.
Yeah, that's how you begin the corruption. You start with cartoons,
and suddenly you have gills, and then you can see underwater, and you have the third eyelid. Who knows? And you start speaking primordial.
Sweet, I can't wait.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all I really want to talk about with this. I'm hoping I can actually get my my Kickstarter backing before I get to Gary Come, but I doubt it. Because I wanted to get my new book signed, but hey,
Yeah, not gonna
I
be
am a
that
big
quick.
fan of. I just printed out the PDF she sent out. Kelsey sent out for the brand new GM screen, which is much better than the old one. There's actually a lot of useful information on it. So use that tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's really good.
So I did something that I never thought I would do.
Jay?
And I think I mentioned it to you guys the other day, but I'm going to actually talk about it on here. I went and played AI Dungeons and Dragons.
The fuck?
Yeah.
But why?
Because it's not going away. It is going to be a thing at some point. Like, people are going to sit at home and play tabletop role-playing games with artificial intelligence. This is going to happen. Well, I mean, it's just a fact, that's the way things are. So I figured I would test it out just to see where the fuck it's at, what it's actually capable of. Is it worth anyone's time? I can personally say right now, it is not worth anyone's time. It is not there. It's got a long ways to go. So there's a website that I found called play.fables.gg. And you can go on there. If there's a free tier and a paid tier. I wasn't willing to pay for this thing, so I just took the free tier. The free tier basically gives you like 17 interactions, 17 turns to kind of go through the game. And there's a shit ton of worlds and settings that you can play in that use 5e or 5.5 D&D stats. The free tier, you get a character. You can kind of pick which one you want, but you don't get to adjust anything. I think with the paid tier, you actually can. You can build your own characters. This thing apparently is set up so it can recognize voice commands. So I used that specifically just to see how it operates. And from what I had read online, it can actually do voices. Once again, probably a paid tier thing. So I ended up picking a fighter just because. And through my several turns, like 10 turns or so, is just, walking through the beginnings of getting the adventure started. You meet an NPC, he tells you about, you can go over here, you can go here. And then you end up getting on this adventure. The adventure I ended up getting into was working as a caravan guard. Classic trope from, tabletop role-playing games. So I get into combat with some bandits, and it pulls up the little mini map so I could see where all the bandits were at and where I'm at. And everything is, it's got a little grid so you can tell how far you can move and everything. The problem was I was working as a caravan guard with multiple other caravan guards. But when combat started, it was just me on that mini map versus 6 bandits. So I tried to figure out what prompt do I need to use to get my guys, my NPC guys, to help me in this fight. I tried 2 or 3 prompts and nothing, it wasn't understanding what I wanted it to do. So it's like, okay, fuck it. At this point, I'm going to fight the 6 guys. I'm level 1. This will go great. Basically, I got the shit kicked out of me. Then I realized the game, the AI didn't actually understand the rules of D&D. So I'm laying down prone on the ground, and one of the guys attacks me at range and hits me. And I realize, I look at the attack roll and, well, okay, that was not at disadvantage. So I tell it was supposed to be at disadvantage. So then it makes me do a death save at disadvantage.
What?
So then I type a prompt in there. No, you didn't understand what I was saying. So after multiple prompts, I was able to get it to correct that. So the attack roll was then done at disadvantage. I didn't have to make the death save at disadvantage, but I basically had to get it to back up. And then I finally was able to get a prompt that was put in all of the NPCs that were supposed to be with me. And at that point, I ran out of my 17 free turns. So I feel like it's got a long ways to go, but I think at some point it will get to a point where it will be able to operate with NPCs, with voices, and actually, I don't think we're there yet, but I think another 5 years, this might become a viable thing for people who are bored at home and just want to play some fucking D&D.
So
Well-
as you were talking, Jay, I loaded this up and very quickly got in. I'm playing a half-orc paladin with some ranger companion, and I'm trying to flesh out some bandits from an inn that is being held hostage. And really, this just reminds me of pre-gen
I know.
material you'd find in a mud
Yeah,
about 30 years
Yes.
ago.
it's
right?
very much like a mud, except you don't have.
This doesn't seem like AI. This seems like somebody just put prompts in here, and if you need to respond with the correct thing, maybe the AI is basically correcting it and pushing you towards the 7 options that might actually be available. And there's of course the random rolls that weren't really a thing, but
Yeah, but it can get, like, if you put in prompts, it does pick up on what you're saying. So it definitely has a lot of AI utilization in there, but it definitely felt like a mud to me as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you think about it, AI is just a really fancy algorithm, and I know that's very oversimplifying it. And you have to teach it the algorithm more and more and better and better. And so the more it gets taught, the better it will eventually become, to the point where it can start rehashing old adventures as a full campaign and lead you through the game while ticking in your crazy prompts of like, oh, I want to stab the barkeep. All right, you're stabbing the barkeep. Like, eventually you'll be able to handle that. The only thing that'll be the problem is when AI begins to understand how to make new adventures, which I don't think it's anywhere near doing. Will it get to the point where it could algorithmically have the DM roll and respond with the most or probably the least problematic answer to a situation, yes, we're probably a couple of years away from that. But you're still not going to get the heart and the soul of a story being told and the emotion being played. And I think that's where it's going to need a lot of work still. But it'll get there eventually for sure.
You know what? That does leave in. There is a different way that you can play D&D without being a right now online or and play it from home. And that's the old way of they used to have play-by-post / play-by-email games.
Nice.
Are we going to talk about this tonight, or are we going to
It's a good
come
segue.
back to that? I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's a
thought-
very good
It's a
segue.
good segue. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, have any of you guys ever played in any of those type of games?
No, I have not.
Chris never even knew they were a thing.
Bitch, I'm like a year younger than you.
So young.
I know
Yeah.
what the email. I know what email is. God.
He doesn't even. Yeah, he knows what email is. No, we're talking about post.
The
Like,
cereal?
yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I don't eat that cereal. I eat Cheerios. Thank you.
Yes, Christian. No, I have never played in any of the play-by-mail games, but I remember back in the '90s, I really fucking wanted to and never
Yeah,
got to.
I mean, even older than that, there used to be actual play by mail, which is where you had to mail in your thing to a group. That was the really old one. But
That's the one I'm talking about. That's
yeah,
what I
no, I'm talking
remember.
about play by email or play by post, which is by forum post, basically, on
Yeah.
old forums. I played in a few, and they were all Birthright games.
Of course they were.
You know, now I think Birthright would lend to that because of all the campaign intricacies
Mhm.
that you really have to do. That's really more important than honestly the fights.
Yeah, so there were the Birthright community way back in the day, even after it's up, but there was a pretty strong online community of people that did play by email and play by post Birthright games. So I got involved in a few of them, and they were pretty interesting that the way they handled it. You would have depending on the scope of the game. There was one that was very large that I played in. That was a lot of fun, but it had multiple DMs because they were basically playing the run for the Iron Throne to name a new empire. So did all the lands of Anwire, which is the kind of one of the areas of Birthright, and you had people playing. You had a ton of people playing. I think there was something like 60 something players in this game, and controlling everything from large duchies with other players as various subordinate vassals to a guy playing like a small court wizard that had like a few holdings.
This just sounds like a LARP with extra steps.
They are similar to that in some respects, but Birthright I think lends itself well because the way the Birthright did it was all at the domain level, so everyone is running one of these various domains in countries, and they had a kind of a cadence of they did it well because they had a cadence of like, hey, we are doing stuff every so many like once a week or once a month where you have to have like your stuff filled in of what your domain is doing, what your correspondences are to any other players and whatnot, and which DM was assigned to you to who you would interact with for anything. And the fact that you had to have a certain number, like you knew your time frame of like when you had to have your stuff in or any questions into the DM in order to get responses, gave it kind of a good life rhythm. It was kept enough that it didn't take a ton of your time, so that like you could do this and fire off your stuff and take your turns and respond to anything you needed to, and then it didn't take up a ton of your time, but you still got to kind of play. And then after that amount of time, you would have a couple of days of downtime, and then the DMs would compile a big like you would get your report specifically of here's all the stuff here's how your actions went, whether they succeeded or failed. Here's where you've received news from other people, letters from other players, or other things that happened to your domain in the course of the event. And then there would be a big general post that everyone got to see of like, these are things that were noticeable that happened in the world that you can look at that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's very reminiscent of honestly our LARP between game stuff going on.
Yeah. It reminds me kind of some of that stuff when people would have especially like some of the Calanthian stuff when people were running baronies and you had your between event stuff and your troop management and all your like what are characters doing between events. It reminded me of that kind of thing. But yeah, it was similar to that. But it was a lot of kind of fun if you and I think Birthright lended itself well because you're playing at that kind of like strategic world map, almost kind of game of Risk playing where
it's
you're
a game
not
of
so
it's a
much...
game of politics and war. I mean, that's what Birthright is.
Yes, very much so. So yeah, I had, like I said, I played in 3 different ones run by the same kind of group of online Birthright DMs. One of them was that big giant scope one, which was a lot of fun. I played there's one of the duchies that was kind of riven by civil war called Elamia, and I played that, managed to end the civil war, take over the other half of the other duchy of Tornin, which is one of the ones they write about, to claim that and claim my title as an archduke and make a case for the Iron Throne. And that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I did not get there in the end, but I made myself a big player that somebody had to come and basically like be like, I need you to support me and you'll get this position and yada yada.
The only campaign of Birthright I ever played in, we all played the leaders of the different countries. I think there were like 6 of us or whatever, and I don't recall the specifics, but I think there's like 12 or 13 different countries in the Birthright setting. Yeah, okay. It might have just been that one specific area, but we all sort of banded together on the very first game and then ended up starting a war with all of the other ones because we're a bunch of murder hoboing assholes.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome campaign, though. It was so much fun.
It is. It's hard. I think it's hard to run at a normal table where you have everyone off on very different countries because it becomes hard to like have a cohesive game.
Yeah, you tried, and
I did try, and that
worked. But the fact that even a couple of like the factions very quickly split up, and like it just became cumbersome.
Yeah, it became cumbersome because I tried to go too big and let everyone kind of run their own thing. But yeah, people split up into kind of different factions, and there's like 3 or 4 different groups of players all going in different directions, and so it became very unmanageable.
It also created more work for you between games.
Oh god, that is more prep and more work than between games than I've ever done on anything else.
Yeah.
But I think if I ran Birthright again, I want to at some point. I'll probably run it in Shadowdark. But I think I would run it either starting out where everyone's not running a kingdom and you're doing the whole like adventurer to domain level play kind of thing, like old D&D. Or if you're gonna run a domain, I'm gonna put everyone in one place. You'll be like, you're all part of this one place, and you run different aspects of the same place. That way, you're all involved in the same stuff, and you have a reason to like work together and do stuff.
That's the better way to do it. Everybody is a person of note within a kingdom or whatever you want to call it.
Somebody's the king, somebody's the archpriest, and somebody's the high mage, and somebody runs the guilds, and somebody's the admiral of the navy, but you're all running the same place.
Yep. That's a much easier way, and you're still going to get the politics that are inherent in Birthright.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anybody got any last topics before we wrap this thing up?
I do.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I've been playing Adventure League, and that's going well. I'm about to finish up Keep on the Borderlands. We basically finished Keep on the Borderlands, but the Caves of Chaos, we finished that part of it. And we're clearing out some of the wilderness encounters, and there's a big mega dungeon as well. We're going to finish that up here probably by the end of March, maybe early April. And then we decided to move on to the Temple of Elemental Evil before all the stuff came out with the retirement of Adventures League and the creation of D&D encounters. So we're going to fly through the Temple of Elemental Evil, which I think will be a lot of fun. Well, it's more that we can divide. I have like 4 or 5 people DMing, so we all have the same book. We found it on sale on Amazon, the Goodman Games version, for like $40. So we all bought it.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, it was really cheap.
Yeah, there was some suspicion on one of the auction sites I follow that those were not
POD.
officially Goodman Games, and somebody's printing them off somewhere and selling them because, according to people who are in the know about Goodman Games and their stock, they have stopped printing it and have not printed it in years. And unless somebody bought thousands of them, like they've been selling them on Amazon like hotcakes for a while. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty somebody's doing that.
Well, I mean, I have my copy from the Goodman Games from years ago when I spent like 150 on it, and I have this copy that they spent $40 on, and it feels, looks, and seems to be exactly the same. So I'm not sure. But regardless, we all have that now, so we're going to be running that. And what's good about that is at least we can go, okay, today we're running these encounters at this level. Next week we're going to run these encounters, at the same level, and then work our way through. We can chop it up really easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be fun.
Yeah,
But
I've only ever actually played Temple of Elemental Evil. I played through the initial. What is it? The where do you fight Blareth the Beautiful? The Moat House. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe.
So I've played through that, and I played through I think the first level of Temple of Elemental Evil years ago in AD&D second ed, or no, AD&D first ed, and the game fell apart and just never picked it back up again. But I've the only other time I've ever actually completed it was the module that they created for Solasta, which was pretty good actually.
Yeah, we played through that on stream a little while ago.
Yeah.
We had fun. So I'm doing that, and while we're leading up to D&D Encounters, one thing I wanted to do at Adventures League is I wanted to run the Keshnar module that I'm running at GaryCon.
Yeah, did you get to do that?
I did get a chance to do that tonight, actually. I actually ran through it tonight. I'm not going to give any spoilers because I know you all are in the game. I just want to point out this. The PCs you'll be playing are level 8. Okay? There will be 6 of you. I had 5 tonight. Okay? I killed 2 players and had 1 about to die, and I had 1 on the brink of death. So out of the 5 players tonight, I killed about a third.
So level 1 adventure or
level 8?
8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I can't wait for you guys to sit down on it. I can't wait to murder you and rip you all in half. It's gonna be great.
I'm actually
hear
showing up with Booker T, so that's not going to happen.
Well, Booker T will be on my side.
No.
He'll do the betrayal.
Son of a bitch.
He'll do a heel turn.
Hell yeah.
Happen.
But it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I ran through it because there was a lot of just like slow buildup, and I found where the pain points are for me, and I can work my way around them. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to slaughter you all.
Just a week and a half.
Yeah.
All
Should be a lot of fun.
Yep. So yeah, we'll have to talk about what we're gonna do for that podcast because we'll be at GaryCon that week. We'll have to sort something out.
We'll figure something out. Maybe we'll record something ahead of time.
Yeah, maybe we can get another interview with somebody.
Maybe.
Yeah, but Kristen won't be there.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll have one of the randos we're hanging out with come be a guest interviewer.
Yeah.
That'll work.
All right. Well,
we'll get Yamil on the podcast.
Oh, shit! I know what we got to talk about. We still have to talk about Matt Mercer's top 10 list.
Oh yeah. You cut me
Yeah.
off. I was
Are
on
we
number
done with
6
Psionics?
left.
Oh yeah, his top 10 campaign settings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
top 10 campaign settings of
Was
Matt
the dark
Mercer.
side, or
I don't know. So Chris, you got the list, right?
Yeah. Here, all right.
Somewhere.
Number 6.